It was great. From one USC to another. How about that? Where I'm from, USC is South Carolina. Where I went to college, I went to Arizona State. USC is Southern Cal. So it's all up to perspective, I guess. Penn State 33, USC 30. Oh, man. This has got to be like a just arrow to the heart if you're a USC fan. This one stings because you had this one. You flat out had this one. And this has been, for Southern Cal, this has been the theme all year. Against Minnesota, lost by a possession, interception, last drive. Michigan gave up a 4th and goal touchdown. Penn State, same thing, man. Miller Moss had the receiver on a slant right up the middle and just missed him. And Miller Moss did not play a bad game. He just overthrew it. And that happens. The USC, Southern Cal that is, that's the last time I'll specify, is 3 plays away from being unbeaten. Like I talked about with South Carolina, it's not like USC is being outplayed. They just haven't been able to finish games. They're able to do it. They're able to do it against LSU, but against Minnesota. And USC has ran the ball well. Like against Penn State, USC averaged 7.5 yards a carry as a team on that Penn State defense. It's not like the Big Ten style of play has been the number one reason that they've lost. Their defenses have done a solid job as well. Like giving up 24 to Minnesota, 27 to Michigan, it's not perfect, but it's progress from what they were last year, right? USC, this one's got to sting. But hey, Trojan fans, I'm going to give you some hope. I'm going to give you some hope here. Look at the schedule. You've gone through the hard part of the schedule. At Maryland, Rutgers, at Washington, Nebraska at home, UCLA at home, and the big one, Notre Dame at home. USC is favored in all but one of those games. They play one Triple H top 25 opponent for the rest of the entire year. So if you're a USC fan, you can tell yourself, okay, we haven't looked bad this year. Like, we haven't looked like a 3-3, 500 football team. We've looked better than that. And the schedule, the remaining part of the schedule is fairly easy. If you get Notre Dame with the hard schedule that USC has played, there could be something there. There could be something there. I'm not going to get USC fans hyped up for the playoff because I don't want to give you guys false expectations, but I want to say, look, you can finish the season strong. With the schedule that is going on, you can finish the season strong. And now, to Penn State fans. Look, I saw some great positives and some negatives I do just want to touch on, but resume-wise, this is an amazing win. This is a huge, huge, huge win for Penn State because now, look at the schedule. Penn State is favored in every single game, not just favored in every single game, double-digit favorites in the Triple H model by 10-plus points to everyone except Ohio State. And, you know, I think with them getting Ohio State at home, there is an avenue that they win. They always give Ohio State a tough game. And here's why I think there should be a lot of optimism in State College, Pennsylvania, because this is the first time I've ever seen this. Penn State got down 20-6. Their defense gave up 30 points. They averaged 7 yards. They gave up 7 yards per carry on the ground. They got beat in the trenches. The run game averaged 3.8 yards per carry, just 113 yards. Literally, Penn State had to say, Drew Aller, we're not shutting them down. We're not running the ball. We need you to go out and win this game by yourself. And what did Drew Aller do, folks? A career-high 43 attempts, career-high 30 completions, a career-high 391 passing yards. Drew Aller not only said, I'll win the game for you, he said, I'll put the team on my back and win the game for you. That's exactly what Drew Aller did. And if you are a Penn State fan, you have to have a lot of optimism about that. Because for the first time in his entire career, look, we've seen Drew Aller play good games. We've seen him manage games well. He threw 2 picks all of last year. He managed the game phenomenally. You know, Penn State fans, I get it, losing to Ohio State and Michigan, that is tough. But Winning 10 games against every single team that you're supposed to beat is not something that many teams can say. Drew Aller was able to manage the game. Seems like Drew Aller is taking that next step that everyone in State College, Pennsylvania has wanted him to take. Because usually Drew Aller's fed off the run game. And you get Singleton and Katron Allen. Man, they are feeding them. We got to stack the box. Well, Penn State's down 20-6. And a lot of haters like to say Penn State can't play from behind. Well, folks, Penn State's proven those naysayers wrong. Because Drew Aller took the team on his back. I will give you 43 dropbacks, 30 completions, all throw for nearly 400 yards. Another thing about Penn State, coming into the spring game, the big question for Penn State was, okay, not only is it the quarterback play, but who's going to emerge from that receiving core? Is it going to be Harrison Wallace? Julian Fleming was getting a lot of hype. Kayvon Saunders was getting a lot of hype. Tyler Warren, 224 yards. I don't know if you guys saw that Drew Aller screen pass, threw it right up there. Tyler Warren mossed this guy. It was awesome. It was a great play. Penn State looks like they found their guy at the receiving position, which is something they also haven't been able to say in a while. So Penn State's quarterback, when nothing else was working, Drew Aller said, "Get on my back. I'm going to carry you to the promised land." And Tyler Warren was there to help him out in every single way you could get. If you're a Penn State fan, that has to give you a lot of optimism. Because Drew Aller, this 6'6", really hyped up 5-star quarterback, got a lot of traits. When Sean Clifford even won the Rose Bowl 2 years ago, Penn State fans were clamoring his name to start. He put the team on his back and he won. For the first time, he was probably the reason Penn State won that football game. I do want to talk about a negative. Just a negative, though, that I don't think you can look over. As you know, Penn State lost Manny Diaz to Duke in the offseason. And the question was, because this defense has been great for Penn State. It's been one of the best, not just in the Big Ten, but in all of college football. So without Manny Diaz, how would they look? Well, gave up 7.5 yards per carry on the ground to USC. That's rare. That is incredibly rare for a Manny Diaz defense to hurt and to give that up. And I was a little bit alarmed when they gave up 27 points to Bowling Green as well. I'm just saying, I'm not going to rush to conclusions, say the defense is washed. No, certainly they're not. I'm just saying it is something to look out for. But with this offense taking a step up and this defense maybe taking a little step down, which is expected when you lose one of the best coordinators in college football, right? It's expected. This team looks way less one-dimensional, which honestly, now since they look like they can beat teams in a plethora of ways, whether that's Nick Singleton, Katron Allen, whether it's the front seven, whether it's the secondary, and now, whether if it's Drew Aller, Penn State's pretty dangerous now. And they get Ohio State with a lot of momentum at home in a couple weeks. That will be one big game for sure, folks.